Well, it's hard to believe that we are only 6 months away from our exciting trip to follow the footsteps of Paul as we go through Turkey, Greece, and then an extension onto Rome. Well, it's time to prepare. So I'm going to help you prepare. I'm going to, in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to send you your first weekly audio. This is an audio that's about 3 to 8 minutes, and knowing how I tend to ramble, you won't see too many 3-minute ones. But each audio will cover one site of our trip. So I'm just going to start right at the beginning, and each site, every week I'll send you a new audio about that site, the first one and then the second one and on. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to send you opportunities to expand a little bit more, to dig a little deeper. I don't expect everyone to do that, but those who will, it'll be just some added information that you can research out a little bit to kind of get probably another 45 minutes or so. So on a weekly basis, between 8 minutes and 45 minutes, you will be prepared for this trip, and it will mean so much more to you. We'll start our trip by going to Istanbul. There's no biblical sites there, but that'll give you a little bit of a chance to get rid of some jet lag and for us to get to know each other. And also, we're going to spend that time talking about the Apostle Paul before he has his mission trip and when he goes into eastern Turkey, which we won't be going to. We'll kind of bring him up to date so that when we actually start into Turkey, it'll be current in his second missionary journey. We'll then go on down. We will head down into the various sites in Turkey. We'll start with the 7 churches of Revelation. You may ask, well, what does that have to do with Paul? That, John wrote that. Well, he did, but Paul started those churches, and there's some exciting sites there to see, and so we'll be going to those, ending up back at Ephesus, which is one of the churches, and a lot about Paul there. And then finally we head up to Troas and on over to Macedonia. Today it's called Greece, of course, but that's an exciting part of the trip. The first time I went there, it was so exciting to be able to see Philippi and Thessalonica and to see Berea. And it's a beautiful area, and we'll be seeing all those. And then we'll head on down to Athens. We'll spend a few days there. We'll see Athens and Corinth. But in addition to that, you'll be given a half day of a free day, of a free time. We'll be sending you a list of options, things that you can do during that time. And we really encourage you to spend some time. Take each one of those sites, look it up, see which one you really prefer. If you really don't have time or you forget to do it, then the other option is to talk to some of the other people on the tour and see where they're going, and who knows, they may just invite you to come along with them. Well, at that point, the initial tour is over. For the extension, we'll be going over to Rome. Of course, in Rome, this is more sites there for the Apostle Paul, also Peter. Both of them were martyred there, and we'll be examining all of that. It's a very good extension. And one of the best parts, although with the Colosseum and all of the various sites, the archway, the pizza is delicious there. You really want to do that. You go in an outdoor cafe, and we'll give you a chance to do that. One of the things that we'll be doing on this trip, besides all the sites, is that each day we'll be taking another Roman custom. These are things that the Apostle Paul assumed that everybody knew. And of course, in that day, everyone did know them. But when he writes the epistles, he refers to things that most of us don't understand what he's talking about. I like to say it's like Paul is walking down one of the major streets, let's say Ephesus, and around him he sees things and he knows things that's going on, which just everyone knew. And he refers to these things in the epistles. Because of our time in this right here, you'll be amazed how the epistles will bring on a new light as you understand what Paul is talking about when he refers to things. We'll be also doing all of the Caesars that lived during the time of the New Testament. Throughout the New Testament, it always refers to Caesar. And of course, they didn't explain which Caesar, it just Caesar, because the people that day knew which Caesar it was. Well, we're going to deal with each one. They were interesting, fascinating people, so different in many ways, and when they are referred to, the people that day knew who they were talking about and what it was like, and it really influenced that. Well, as you're getting this film, one of the things I wanted to encourage you to do, if you haven't already signed up, I encourage you to sign up for the Story of the Day. It happens that next Tuesday, from when I'm filming this, next Tuesday begins the Old Testament in the Story of the Day. We always start the Story of the Day in the last week of December, dealing with Christmas and the New Testament. Well, right here is when it switches over to the Old Testament. So it's a great time to sign up for the Story of the Day. Just go to BibleTelling.org, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see the Story of the Day and a place for you to sign up. And I encourage you, this will give you a good background in the Old Testament before you go to Greece. Well, take this opportunity to prepare. Look over the weekly audio that I'm going to be sending you, and take that as an opportunity to get ready for our exciting trip in Turkey, Greece, and Rome.